Well, it's probably been a week now. Been a little over a week since we recorded that first clip. Yes, it's still freezing cold out here. Unfortunately, we recorded 2 videos in the meantime that did not make it. I forgot about my bad SD card and I used it. When I went to upload all my pictures to my computer, they were not there. Only thumbnails were there. So here we are. Let's go ahead and get back to work on the convertible vert today. We went ahead and got our light all charged up, since we did just grab 2 angle grinder bristle brushes or wire brush attachments so we can use to get our underbody resituated. The shop's kind of messy right now. Yeah, I know. We got a couple doors out because we're actually selling one. We're actually going to sell the door off this car since we're going to repaint this thing and make it a whole new color. I've got doors in the back that are actually painted the factory color that I want to paint this, so that will take a lot of that hardship out for me. We'll just take this up to Michigan, sell it, swap our doors, have our inside doors painted, just have to worry about the jams. But for those of you who haven't been here to tag along on this journey, this is our 93 Nissan 300ZX convertible. So far what we've got done, other than just stripping the thing down, is we have done our wheel wells. The other side is not finished quite here. This is the attempt of a failed spray. I didn't think about it. I didn't warm my cans up, and I didn't really think about it in general. It was 50 out that day. Thought it was good enough. Well, it didn't spray correctly. It's not even. So we're going to go back with something a little more textured and make it look kind of how I would like it to look. As for the passenger side, this is our goal that we're working on right now for the whole underside of this car. That is a nice finished Pour 15 coat. We've got this side completely stripped down already, minus a couple little nooks and crannies, and our goal is to straighten out the frame and all of the associated damage, rust, dents, whatever. We want to make this thing as new as possible. Hate to say it, it's going to be a boring video, guys. We're just going to strip the chassis the rest of the way down and work on grinding off this undercoat. My at least goal for the video is to get all of the undercoat off of the wheel wells in the back. Let's be honest, this isn't fun to watch, let alone is it really fun to do. And here you can see all of these welded spots. It appears this car has been repaired at some point in its life, and someone welded all the spot welds back up. We are going to grind all that down. We're going to make this thing new, fresh, and our goal is to make at least a $20,000 car here that we restore. So, enough of the chit chat. Let's see if we can get all of our tools out and where we put them all, because we did get a bunch of new stuff. Let's get to work. Maybe a good place to start here is get in here. Let's pull this brake pedal out, at least see if we can remove it, so that way we can pull the booster out. Then our bay's completely done. I'm gonna wait a little bit till we do the interior here. I just want to get moving so I can warm up a little bit, because it is cold. Got the Gana doors just resting in the seat, sitting in luxury. So we actually found out that we have a couple leaks out here. There's a bucket here. I've got an oil pan here, 2 other buckets back there, and a trash lid. So we really need to address kind of the roof this summer. The reason we haven't jumped to go ahead and put the walls and stuff together like we have over here is because we're actually planning to run some power out here in the spring. We can actually have some real power out here and not be running off extension cords. And we can weld and do other fun stuff. So we just pulled all the brake pedal nuts off, and when I was pulling it off to get to the clevis pin, I noticed someone has put tape up here to act in place of the rubber pedal stoppers. That's funny. I always see tons of different ways. Usually I just use a bolt and a nut, but I guess that works for now. We're obviously not going to keep that though. I just wonder if there's like a penny on it. Nope, just tape. There's the clevis pin. It's on the other side. Nearly punctured my thumb trying to pry it off. Definitely a plier job. Much easier. Now the not so fun part, getting the brake one off, because it's got that little plastic piece in it that keeps it from coming out. Is it? Well, we got it out. I've never had one fight me quite that bad. Yeah, I don't think it would have fell out. It would have been alright. Well, someone's been in here. I don't recall that being factory. You know, I think it's a good time for us to just go ahead and yank all of this airbag junk out. We're not going to be using that. Not only just for ease of installation and just cleanliness of everything, this thing's already packed enough. A lot of people don't want airbags, and plus if we choose to go kind of with a different wheel, like the OEM 3-spoke wheel, looks way better than the airbag wheel. It doesn't always feel as good. I'm kind of partial between them, but the airbag wheel is really ugly. All of this yellow spaghetti is coming out. If we come up here to the front of the car, we can see we got an airbag module over here. It runs up. We've got it all disconnected here. I guess there's a quick disconnect here. We'll probably go ahead and do that so we can keep this all over here in one piece, just in case someone needs this. Just because I'm not using it doesn't mean that someone somewhere like California doesn't need this, because they have much more strict rules and regulations than here in Indiana. More so a matter of will it come apart. These are probably my least favorite connectors. Yep, came apart all right. Man, hope it didn't hurt the GoPro. Oh man. See, I really don't like them now. Well, I hope the lens isn't too messed up. I don't see. I guess we just got our first scratches. Shouldn't affect it. It's not right in front of the camera, but luckily I think those are replaceable. For making it nearly 100 videos in and we haven't damaged our camera that badly, I'd say we're pretty good. Well, what do we have here? Finally, all of that stupid airbag wiring is out. That's how I feel about it. That's a real knuckle buster. Other than maybe that window motor, this latch here, everything's pretty much pulled off. I'm gonna keep a lot of this stuff in place, the subframe, so we could just like hold it up now. I'm in the process of kind of drawing the line here of how far I want to go and what I want to do. And I'm starting to think maybe we shouldn't go all out. I'm not going to powder coat everything yet. I would like to in the next Z for sure, but right now just funds are a little tight, and if I'm going to try to zinc coat, that's already going to take a good chunk of money out with all the stuff I want to have done, not to mention just everything else in the aspect here. Got to figure out seals, I got to figure out a top. I've got pretty much everything engine wise, so we're just trying to run with it what we can. So much deciding here, but I think we're going to go inside for a minute. We're going to grab something to eat because the camera's getting too cold. It keeps shutting off, and I have to kangaroo pouch it in my sweatshirt underneath my coveralls. So we'll be back momentarily. Not to mention, my charger's not working because everything's too cold. These, I've kept them in my pocket, so they're all right for now. But my phone was just saying it's too cold to charge. So we really do need to go in for a minute. Well, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I just passed out for like an hour. Went inside to eat and I just got so sick of having a headache being out here in the cold. Not to mention, it's kind of hard for me to wear a hat because right now I've got a handful of cysts on my head that I'm waiting to get a call from my doctor about, or surgeon, so I can get them removed. And it really just makes it all kinds of trouble and hassle when I wear hats because it constantly compresses on them and just gives me a headache. So it was probably a combination of the both. But while we were inside, everything decided to melt and it started raining. So sweet for freezing rain. So we just went ahead and pretty much unbolted everything from this door, the door panel. Our goal, since we don't have the window rolled down, is we're actually going to pop the bottom of the door panel out, and we're going to apply power to the pins on the actual door itself. We're going to power it downward so we can move it with just having a 12-volt wire and a ground. Hopefully this goes as planned. The last time I did it, it started heating up my battery for some weird reason. I really need this to work. If not, I got to take this entire door off, put it on another car out there, hook a jumper pack onto the terminals because it still has a front end harness, and roll the window down. Don't want to have to go through all that, so let's see what we can MacGyver in the meantime. Well, we had absolutely no luck with the power. Let's go ahead and just pull the door like we usually would. Biggest tip I have here for removing a door, make sure you pull the pin out before you remove it. Too many times have I forgot that and yanked a door off, and it is just a nightmare. It won't function right without the hinges bolted on, and just remove it. Good old screwdriver and a hammer works every time. Ah, I forgot, you gotta come from the bottom. Now the problem is just getting the screwdriver to fit. Usually I can get it to wedge in the place of that, and then I just pull the screwdriver out afterwards. Something a little bit like that. Forgot I was using the wrong screwdriver. I actually have one that I use for frequently. The wiring harness plugs for the door is right here, which I think, and right here. I guess I already unplugged them. I don't recall doing that. Now, I actually think I'm gonna remove these bolts instead of the hinges because I actually want to use these hinges. I'm not 100% sure if the other guy really needs them. His is more or less just damaged right up here, so those will probably just swap right on over. Oh, there went the door. The door is no longer bolted. I actually may need to keep one in here for the time being. I just noticed that I think it may fall off if not. That's no big deal, just lift it up, thread it on a little bit. Now let's make way with the other chassis. Well, the car actually already looks ready. So I think all I need to sort here is this. As I dropped the door on the car, kind of made me sad. Makes me miss this car. Something about black Z's. Got a soft spot for them. I guess I do for like all Z's, but black ones just always look really clean. Go ahead, feed this in. I'm still supporting the door somewhat. Last thing we want to do is for this to just fall in. And you know, I didn't think about this. There's really no way for me to get in this car. The other door is on here the exact same way. The hatch is just laying on here. Oh, yeah. We actually need to find a window switch, it looks like, so we can actually roll the window down when we get in the car. That'll do. We'll just snag it out the drift car like I do every single other time I need the door switch. All reliable. Well, I will say this is the first time I've ever got into a Z like this. Man, I'm really gonna have to squeeze to get in here, ain't I? I'm pretty sure this gas tank's opened, or at least exposed. Oh man. We made it. So I just thought, imagine if this doesn't work. Oh, that would suck. Be careful not to push on the door here. Last thing I want to do is shove it off the car. Same two plugs. Jump pack's plugged in. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Well, let's worry about removing this door panel first. And then we'll worry about taking this off and the glass out. It's not really my priority right now. I'm leaving the window motor because the guy needs it. I've got other ones, especially in the door we're using. So we really just need to get this door panel off. The reason we needed the window down to even do this in the first place is you have to pop this off. Maybe. And then there is a screw up in there that you have to remove. Let's pry it off. And there's your clip. And the reason for that is there's actually a little bracket right here on the top of the door panel that has two 10mm screws securing it. See if we can do it in the car. That didn't go as planned. Instead of the clip coming off, it ripped the clip mount off the door panel. My favorite. All right. There we go. Oh, now that the panel's off, the door is now back in the garage. Now we're just going to go ahead and pull all that stuff off. Honestly, that may be it for tonight. It's kind of getting really cold out again, so I need to take care of a couple things before it freezes over, just in case we can't get anywhere tomorrow, because I need a couple groceries. So let's just get cleaned up, and I guess we will catch you guys in the morning. Oh, we just got back from the dentist. Can't you tell? I can't. Just got our batteries all charged up last night. And here we go again with me and my distrust for the weather. Supposed to everything freeze and just be as dangerous and all get out last night. All the snow's gone. And it's not, it's warm. It's like 40 degrees. Where's the sense in the freezing rain there? Let's get to work and start stripping these rear wheel wells. Now we've got some safety gear, a couple drill bits or wire brush bits to drill. And we're gonna go through here and see what we can get done in about 30 minutes. GoPro still needs to do a little bit of warming up. So in the meantime, what can we do? Well, it has been about 32 minutes, and this is all the more that we have finished. Started hitting this down here a little bit, cleaned up over here just to see what we're working with. And all I gotta say is whoever repaired this, either it was a Friday or they just didn't care. The little bit of effort that it took, or would take, just to grind all these down, and not only just that weld, I just don't understand, because you leave all this and that's just that much more surface level on a porous weld that is gonna possibly rust. And I don't know, it just doesn't make much sense to me why you would go this far to get in here to repair it and just not do it right. But I guess that's why we're here. Just means there's that much more time into repairing this and, you know, checking for other things that we may not have seen or noticed. Now let's actually go find a seat, because I'm sitting on a bucket and I'm kind of way too high up in the air. As you can see, my head's on the quarter panel. I need to be in the wheel well. Needless to say, I'm getting a little tired of how long this is taking, so we're going to try something out for a little bit just to see what kind of more progress we can make. We're going to pull this out with a little bit of spice, and that would be this bad boy right here. So I bought these because it just made more sense. The price it cost to buy this and this alone, or just this and this, was the same as getting two of them plus a brush. Harbor Freight's weird sometimes. I'm thinking right now we're going to go with this one. It may be the safest to use. Now to use this, we have to unplug every single light right here at the power strip, and we have to run directly off this cord or else we'll burn this up about immediately. Since the visibility will be so low, we'll give you guys a good before and after. Well, general consensus with this thing is it's not terrible. The only downside is there wasn't an option at Harbor Freight, but if you can get the braided bristle, grab that. Yeah, that really didn't last that long. In the grand scheme of things, we got this done over here, extended this a little bit, and we began to clear out over here. Just kind of testing to see where it's better at, like what angle. And well, not only is there thousands of bristles down here now. As for now, I think we will use that when the batteries are charging, because honestly, if that little bit right there just did that whole brush in, I don't really want to push it, because I don't think I'll be able to go very far with that second brush. I'm actually pondering the idea of pulling out the grinding wheel. There we go. That's what we need. Let's go ahead. We're going to grind down one spot weld, see how that goes. Quick little before. Just realized I didn't have my safety glasses on. Alrighty, sweet. I'm actually super stoked with how that came out. I've never used a grinder, say, the actual way. However, go back previously if you don't remember for whatever reason. But this is what they looked like. And now, this is what we're working with. That one's about flush. That one I wasn't really sure how far to take it, so I was just testing with this one right here. But good to know we can get it pretty much smooth. Now we know there is a little bit of whatever pitting there from it being welded, and this is why I don't understand why they didn't grind it down, so that way they could mitigate this from happening. You would think when you repair something that you repair it so that way your work will never kind of be seen, or at least show out from rust and stuff. But as you can tell up here, that's exactly what was happening underneath that seam sealer. Hear me out. For never using a grinder before, I think this is coming out freaking awesome. You really can't see the welds themselves. I mean, you can see a couple spots, but man, I am so happy with this. This is what we were working with. Literal like nipples, studs just sticking out. all the way across. I hope you can see where I've been, because they are no more. Like these, they stick out like a sore thumb. But making huge progress here. And there's all the wire brush bristles that we've been collecting. Now let's go grab some dinner. After we get back, I think we'll come back out here and just get straight to work. So I'm super happy with how that's going out. I can't wait to keep working after we eat. And if not, first thing tomorrow. But what I did notice before leaving is, look at this. I grabbed the wrong one. This one is the coiled one. So this is the one we'll be using next. Well, it's actually the next day, and we're gonna go ahead and use the drill. We're gonna clean these up as best that we can. I think I'm actually gonna try to remove this tube as well for the overflow, and we'll see if we can kind of be able to get a little more access to grind those down. But I really just want to make sure I get everything off, so that way I'm not using the grinding wheel to grind all the gunk. All it does is gunk it up and smokes. It doesn't work like you would think it would. A little bit of straightening to do on that panel. You can definitely see the shadow there. Oh yeah, forgot I got this. This hammer is probably 4 times older than I am. This is my great grandpa's. So good to see it's doing some work. Not on Corvettes, but on Z's. Just Japanese Corvettes. I use the shadow to help me know where to hit to straighten this thing out. So actually I could put it directly underneath, and yeah, that shows me all the rest of my high spots since the spot welds are dark. Did I just discover something? No, it's probably already known, but I discovered it for my knowledge. Hey, whatever helps, right? Probably 60 seconds later, about got it all out. There we go. No more shadows. Oh yeah, it feels much, much better. Ah, sweet, making progress. Now let's go ahead. Wherever I put the drill, I'm always hiding stuff from myself. Doesn't help that I can't ever keep this place clean. I'm retarded. I've learned the lesson that I clean up every time that I work, so that way when I come back, I just get my tools out. Now I need to really just put all my parts away as soon as I pull them off. So then dumb stuff like this does not happen. Oh, forgot my safety glasses. Don't forget these. So I cleaned up some of the welds, pretty much all of them over here. These are no big deal. Over here, you can see there's still holes because someone didn't fill them in all the way. So I have a feeling there's going to be a couple up here that aren't filled in. I can see a gap right here in one. Since this has proven to be a lot more work than I anticipated, for now, the goal is I want to get this thing fully undercoated. I want to get it fully stripped, just get everything undercoated. I'm not going to worry about the rust yet. I'm going to take pictures of everything. I'm going to document everything, the location of everything, and we're going to go back and fix it after we pour 15 everything, so I can at least drive this car or move it outside, put a subframe in it and do something and have some more shop space, because for engine swaps and stuff, I just can't do all that outside. It's not practical right now. Since we're planning to get power out here in this next spring, I don't know if I should wait and try to weld this up at the house now, or just wait for the spring to come and have power in the barn and just weld out here with ease and not be so worried about the weather and stuff. I really just want to get all of this stripped, recoated, so it's protected from the rust and we can worry about everything else. I want to redo this thing completely, make it nice, make it live for the rest of its life, and make something kind of special, because, you know, I tried everything myself and I learned everything myself on this car, so it'll make it that much better in the end. Now, since we have to unplug our power source and use it strictly for the grinder, we will not have light to bring you guys along. We've got about 12 to grind down. This should be fun. And here we are. So I'm super pleased with how this back one came out. I mean, yeah, you can still see it a little bit. It looks like I missed the bottom corner, but the upper part of that is fantastic. It's not completely smooth. I don't know how one would really go about that to make it completely smooth. However, when I do run my finger along it with my gloves on, I have taken care of pretty much all the high spots. There's just a couple parts where it's like they had the panel flared out. They decided to weld it in instead of hammer the panel in. I'm really not sure what's up with that. Not only that, but I did kind of see something alarming that I'm not really happy that I seen. I guess I shouldn't be that disappointed because I was bound to find something like this once I knew that it's been repaired. As well, let's just say you can cover a lot up with the undercoat and seam sealer. So these are the two high spots I'm mentioning of. As you can see, if I hit them long, they just start smoking with seam sealer. But look at the bolts for that overflow thing, the overflow tube, which is actually right here. You can see that the bolt hole on the top had to actually have the metal moved or damaged to thread it in. In other words, this thing was not perfectly aligned when it was put back together, so who knows what more we're going to find. This car is starting to turn into a nightmare. We put our braided one on, so now we're going to see how much of this we can knock off with that one versus the old one. Can't forget the safety gear. Alright, I know I'm in the dark and all, but I've really had to pull the GoPro out so you guys can check this out. I just used this bristled brush and oh my gosh, I am so happy that I have. This thing absolutely slays. Like literally it just eats right through. I think we can actually get this done in a reasonable time if we can manage to keep a rechargeable light out here long enough. It's starting to get really cold out here, so I need to start getting something done. I literally ate it off like 5 times faster than it normally does with the other drill. So we're going to try to bust this thing out and see maybe if we can just get all of this out safely. It's getting so cold. Looks like I'm vaping every time I breathe out here. We went ahead and just made it to where we marked it off straight over here. It's honestly so hard to hold this grinder up here. It just wears your arms out. Not only that, we did come across a spot weld here that needs ground out. I assume these were the patch panels. They got new shock towers. Just still, the more I look at it, the more upset I get, kind of. Just all the more work that we have to do just for me to want to get this thing to where I want it. And, you know, who knows, this may all be pipe dreams since I'm not fully capable of this yet, but I'm willing to figure it out, so we'll see how far that gets me. I'm pretty sure humidity is still about the same thing as distilled water, but we have got condensation all over our bare metal here, and well, I'm not too happy about that. I can't pour 15 that yet. I mean, I could, but I hate to just start this wheel well and to quit already. I think it's electric drill time. And we've gotten a little bit done. Really just our top section over here is still yet to be done. All around the shock tower is finished. What we were just working on probably the past hour and a half, 2 hours, is we've got this here inner lip. But upon looking at all this, we've got a little bit of rust we got to take care of here. Maybe we'll just cut this whole panel out and redo that. But this is the worst part of it. Yeah, not looking so good, I know. And well, that's what's already came out of it. Give her a couple taps and you get more junk that falls out. But we're making progress. Almost got it up here to the fill hole for the gas tank. And honestly, this is way worse than doing the fronts. I don't know what I was thinking that this would be just as simple, but there's a lot more upwards that you have to do. So you're sitting up in here like this and your arms get really tired. The torque of the drill or the angle grinder wears you out. Not to mention all the dirt, dust, and all the wire brush bristles that you get stuck in your clothes and just stab you like little knives everywhere. Let's say I definitely feel like we bit off a lot more than we can chew on this project, but that's not going to keep me from trying to get it done. Right now, with the humidity and the rain that's been constantly going for like 3 or 4, shoot, even 5 days now, it's getting tough for us to catch a break in here. So with all that moisture and condensation going on the bottom of this car where we've already just done all the work, it's very stressful because I don't know if it's going to rust by the time I come out here tomorrow. I'm going to take some microfiber towels and just wipe everything down. Safe to say I'm a little nervous. Now we'll go ahead, pull off our nightly protective coating, and well, I just want to apologize, you guys, about not getting that video out. I think we found our common denominator here in this situation, and it's the SIM card that I was using. The SIM card is my backup. I filled this one up, so I switched over to that. Lo and behold, we have the same issue. So we're just going to put that one away, forget about it, and we're going to quit using it, move on from here, and hopefully just try to eliminate these mistakes that we are making and technical issues we're having. I know this video is pretty whack. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm just really at the mercy of all the tedious stuff that takes hours and hours and hours and hours to complete. So I'm going to stay motivated on this over the next couple of days, and we're going to try to really bust this thing out while we still record for some other cars. I got some 240 videos coming up soon. Got a 5-lug swap and a couple other things for that. Drift car, hopefully we can get that diff welded soon. I've still been talking to my buddy. It's just me still being on the fence of if we want to sell it or keep it. I really need to free up some funds around here and just get rid of some stuff on top of that. So if you guys need any parts for Z's, don't forget to hit me in my DMs on Instagram, NeedAxNosrap, or just shoot a comment on here and we'll go from there. Really only Z32 parts right now. No promise on turbo parts, but I've got some. It's just kind of a big bummer. We're starting off this year, you know. We're so close to reaching a big goal of ours, but at the same time, we've kept ourselves from reaching it because of the weather and, well, SD cards, you know. But we're just going to really just try to keep pushing through, stay motivated, stay hungry, because this really just takes it out of you. There's a lot of work to this, especially without the correct tools, power tools, and just anything. So we're just working with what we got here, and hopefully we can make do. Nonetheless, let's get back on our grind. Let's start pumping out some videos for you guys. I really just wanted to keep you guys in the loop with this one. With my surgery coming up on my head, I may not be able to work out here as crazily because I can't wear anything on my head for over 3 days, because I can't even wash my hair for 3 days because I'll have stitches in. So hopefully all goes well then, and we can move on forward, get this surgery out the way, because honestly, once the surgery's out the way, I'm going to feel like 100. I already know. I've been dealing with the one on the back of my head for over 15 years, and these ones up here are just getting bigger and causing more problems. So stay tuned for more content, you guys. Again, sorry for everything, and hopefully we can make it up to you guys here in the next month. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.